Dad, is it that difficult to understand that I don't want to get married? Why are you forcing me? I have to force because you are being too stubborn about it. I'm not happy to do that, but you made me take this step. Why? Just why don't you want to get married? There was an intense eye contact between the father and the son, but Jungkook looked away, even after knowing he can't tell him the reason. Everything has been done and you have to marry that girl. She's everything that you need in an ideal. I hope you'll keep her happy always. And if you really want to be the owner of this company, then you have to do it or else forget about everything. With that said, he left from there. Jungkook's jaw clenched up and he threw his table lamp angrily that shattered into pieces. You are doing wrong, Dad. In a blink, everything happened and it felt like a dream. Good or bad, you don't know. Right now you were sitting on the bed. It's your first wedding night and you are nervous. Jungkook turned out to be more handsome than you saw in picture. But his behavior was completely opposite of what you thought. He doesn't look happy or excited. In fact, the whole time he avoided looking at you, and when the priest told him to kiss you, he pretended to kiss but only covered your faces from sides so it looked like you both kissed. You were confused about this behavior, but you decided to let it go. It's been an hour since you are in this room and Jungkook didn't come. He went to work straight after dropping you here in the mansion, which was really awkward for you. You have to find the room by yourself. There is no one here in this house except a watchman who is also old, and you feel a little scared being left alone in this huge mansion. Your heart dropped when the doorknob twisted. You quickly sat down straight. Jungkook came inside. He seems completely exhausted as he must have a very busy day. He went straight to work after the marriage. He saw you still sitting on the wedding gown. Look, I want to be honest with you from the very start so that later on you can take a decision by yourself. You lift up your face and looked at him confused. I don't know if I'll be able to accept this marriage. Chances are I won't, nor I'm going to make any connections with you, so forgive me for this. Your heart broke into millions of pieces. You said yes for this marriage just to listen to your own husband that he won't accept you. You really felt so bad. This marriage was completely forced, but it would be better if I let you know this from the start. Although we have to live in the same house, but we won't share the same room. I hope you'll think about it. And he left from there. You felt anger rushed inside you. All your dreams crashed so badly. Days started to pass and you were trying to become a good wife to him. After knowing that it was a forced marriage, you thought things can change slowly and one day he will accept you. But it seems hard because Jungkook doesn't talk to you, always come home late, mostly when you sleep, and leave the house before you wake up. And if he came home in between and you tried to talk to him, he always seems annoyed. You thought maybe he has another woman in his heart and that's why he can't accept you, but talking to the watchman you found out he was never interested in any relationship. In fact, from childhood itself, Jungkook has started working with his dad after his mother left him. He loved her so much. His mom was everything to him, but one day she ran away. No one knows where she disappeared. Jungkook was 10 years old that time and he was traumatized with this incident. Later his father fell in love with another woman. She was his mistress because he didn't marry her, but Jungkook never liked her. That's why he started working with his father and slowly trying to forget his mother. The way she left him alone without caring what will happen to him after her behavior made Jungkook hate every woman. That's why he was not ready for the marriage, but his father forced him. He blackmailed him by telling that he won't give him the company and Jungkook can't leave it because he worked hard for it with his father. He can't let all this go from his hands like this. Jungkook threw the papers on the floor and ran his fingers through his hair. Nothing was going well in his life. The company faced a huge loss and he was so stressed out all the time. His phone rang and it was his father who called him at his house. He got to know about the loss and he was furious. What the hell is happening? If you can't handle the company, then leave it. I'll manage by myself rather than bearing those losses. What are you even doing? I'll try to fix it. Give me a chance this time. Jungkook doesn't really like his father, but he respected him. Last chance, and you better do what you said because if not, I'll take everything back. Jungkook came back home frustrated. His life was messed up from everywhere. Are you okay? He opened his eyes and looked at you who were standing in front of him looking worried. I'm not in the right mind, so please leave. He doesn't want to hurt you, so he told you to leave, but you were worried about him. Don't take too much pressure. It's not good for your health. Didn't you hear me properly? I told you to stay away, then why the hell you disturb always? You were so surprised by his behavior. He got up and went inside his room, slamming the door tightly. Tears escaped from your eyes. Jungkook was covered in sweat and breathing heavily. He again started experiencing the same nightmare he suffered from every night. One of the reasons he doesn't want you to come near him. He doesn't want to make you suffer with him. Today all his frustration, tension, all the past memories with his mother and the day she disappeared, everything turned into more terrible nightmare and he felt like someone was choking him. He sat down breathing heavily. You came in the room hearing noises and saw Jungkook in that state. He looked terrified and vulnerable. You quickly poured some water in a glass and gave it to him. Drink some water. He took the glass from your hand and gulped down in one go. Are you okay? What happened? He slowly looked at you. He was too touched by your gesture and how you never gave up on him even when he behaves terribly towards you. It's okay, everything will be fine. You patted his back. I'm so sorry for my behavior. He was feeling so guilty to treat you like that, and here you are, still caring about him. That made him feel that guilt. It's okay, I can understand your situation. He looked at you. All his misconceptions about women were slowly disappearing because if you were also like that, you might not have stayed with him after all this. Did you see a nightmare? He slowly nodded. I have seen them since childhood, and my mom used to take care of me, but after she disappeared somewhere, I deal with them all alone, every night. It's okay, it will be fine soon. You said and hugged him, and after his mother, he felt that warmth and comfort again. He hugged you back and promised you to never behave like that again. Surprisingly, things started to get better in your relationship, and you both started to live like an actual couple. Jungkook was being all loving and caring towards you, and same goes to you. But he got a little busy in his work, which was okay with you. At least now everything is fine. This is exactly the dream life you always wanted to live with your parents, and you also find out that you are pregnant. Jungkook was so happy when he heard this news. First time you saw him crying, and it was heartbreaking even though he cried out of happiness, but you could see the pain in his eyes. He wanted to give this child everything that he longed for, love of both the parents and a happy little family. Only this one, I promise it's last. You shook your head. I'm full, I can't eat more, you said, resisting, but he made you finish the whole bowl of fruits. If it's chocolate or cookies instead, you would have been shoving them inside your mouth non-stop. You pouted while he got up before pecking on your pouted lips and giggled. Okay, now stop acting like a stubborn child and get ready. We are going somewhere. You looked him confused. Where? He turned his face towards you. It's a surprise. With that, he smiled and walked towards the kitchen. You looked at Jungkook confused. Why did he bring you to the church? Why are we here? I mean, is it any special day today? He smiled at you softly and grabbed your hand before going inside. You both prayed to the god, and then he made you sit on one of the seats before sitting beside you. He was still holding your hands. It's Mom's birthday today, he said, looking down at your hands while he was caressing your wedding ring. Oh, he then looked at you and smiled softly. Do you know what? When my mom ran away like that and my mental health got ruined, I started hating women. My father's mistress, she made him away from me and I felt left out. I have been living a loner life since then and I plan to live more, but I guess my fate was not that cruel. The only woman I dare to love after my mother is you, and I know I was a complete jerk in the starting, but now I love you more than anything. You smiled and put your hand over his before squeezing it gently. I know, and thank you. I love you too. You know what? I also lost my parents in a young age. I was 3 that time. My uncle and aunt raised me. I always used to think that I'll get that pure love from my husband. He will love me like a family, and for God's grace, it happened. I'm lucky to have you. He cupped your face.